Thanks so much, Chairman Smith. Great to be with you and the Commission today. I would be remiss if I didn't begin by recognizing the extraordinary leadership and contributions that you have made over your many decades in Congress. Whenever myself or countless thousands of others have needed help on advancing human rights around the world, we always know your office is the first stop on a long list of people to be in touch with, because you've just been a relentless and indefatigable champion for human rights in so many countries around the world. In my remarks today, I'm going to first provide some important context about the human rights situation in Azerbaijan, including after COP29. Then I'll spend more time discussing the situation in Artsakh, Nagorno-Karabakh, and the plight of my client, Reuben Vardanian, who is a former state councilor of the Republic of Nagorno-Karabakh and one of 8 Armenian Christian political prisoners detained by Azerbaijan. I'd also note that there are not only 15 Armenian POWs that were detained, but a number of other political prisoners and POWs detained from prior conflicts as well. In short, while President Aliyev has worked hard to create a global image that he is a statesman, a peacemaker, and a leader on interreligious dialogue, he is in fact a dictator who has ruled his people with an iron fist since 2003. You don't have to take my word for it. The independent reviews of his leadership could not be any more damning. According to Freedom House's Freedom in the World Report 2025, Azerbaijan received a total score of 7 out of 100, putting it between Afghanistan and Belarus. Aliyev was most recently, quote, re-elected in February 2024 in an election widely criticized and panned as neither free nor fair. In addition, according to the Union for the Freedom of Political Prisoners, Azerbaijan today holds 357 political prisoners, which doesn't even include the Armenian Christians. Transparency International ranked Azerbaijan as 154 out of 100 countries in the world in its Corruption Perceptions Index, and it highlighted in its reporting that the regime spent, quote, millions and millions of euros on bribing individuals capable of shaping public opinion in democratic countries. And Reporters Without Borders ranked Azerbaijan as 164 out of 180 countries in the world in its World Press Freedom Index. It observed that, quote, virtually the entire media sector is under official control, and no independent television or radio is transmitted from within the country, and all print newspapers with a critical stance have been shut down. It should come as no surprise that since COP29 last November, Aliyev has only tightened his grip on power, believing the world is distracted with the conflicts in Ukraine, Gaza, and elsewhere. But it is up to all of us here today to make sure that that is not allowed to be the case. Now let me turn my attention to Nagorno-Karabakh more specifically. In September of 2023, Aliyev launched an ethnic cleansing campaign of the Republic of Nagorno-Karabakh, forcing 120,000 ethnic Armenian Christians to flee into Armenia, dissolving its institutions, and decapitating and imprisoning its leadership. It has been more than 18 months since my client, Reuben Vardanian, was detained by Azerbaijan. A devout Armenian Christian and respected philanthropist and businessman, Reuben was taken as a political prisoner in September of 2023. His actual crime? Simply advocating for the dignity and the rights of self-determination of the Armenian Christian people of Nagorno-Karabakh, a region in the South Caucasus that Armenians call Artsakh. Since the ethnic cleansing, Azerbaijan has only accelerated its longstanding efforts to sweep away any trace of Armenian Christian presence in the region. In a report published last year, the Center for Truth and Justice documented numerous examples from among the 500 historic sites and 6,000 Armenian monuments, including churches and monasteries, which have been desecrated or destroyed. And Reuben's ongoing imprisonment remains a powerful symbol of Aliyev's ongoing brutality. He faces life in prison if convicted by the Baku military court on more than 40 fabricated charges. The allegations against him are patently outrageous. As just one example, Reuben co-founded and served on the board of directors of the Aurora Humanitarian Initiative, an independent NGO that helps people in need around the world. Yet Azerbaijan has asserted that this NGO, which is independently audited, has been a vehicle for Reuben to finance terrorism. His trial has also been a mockery of justice with egregious due process abuses, including the illegal trial in a military court, lack of access to a fully translated indictment and all alleged evidence, secret hearings closed to the public, and denial of access to me as his international lawyer. Along the way, despite Aliyev's claims that Reuben is a terrorist and his imprisonment has nothing to do with him being an Armenian Christian, Reuben has been repeatedly denied access to the Bible. and he was subjected to torture during the first of 2 hunger strikes he conducted to protest his imprisonment and that of the other Armenian Christian prisoners. There is a glimmer of hope with respect to the Armenian Christian political prisoners, at least. Azerbaijan and Armenia have reportedly agreed to most of the terms of a peace deal. President Trump, when running for president last October, put out a Truth Social post where he said that what Aliyev had done in Nagorno-Karabakh was an ethnic cleansing, and he said that if elected, he would stand for persecuted Christians. It's therefore heartening that President Aliyev has been told by the most senior officials in the Trump administration that the Armenian Christian prisoners need to be released either before or as part of any peace agreement. That said, dictators never release prisoners because they are asked, only when they have to, and only when it is the least worst choice among a number of bad options. Therefore, to compel Aliyev to release the prisoners, I would begin by associating myself with the recommendations that Artak just made a moment ago. But in addition, the Trump administration, the U.S. Congress, such as Mr. Chairman, your efforts to introduce and advance the Azerbaijan Democracy Act, and other like-minded regional organizations, governments, NGOs, and the media around the world must take both public and private action to demonstrate that there will be real and serious consequences if Aliyev fails to act. It isn't just that Ruben is a hero to his people and to so many others around the world, but Aliyev has turned the truth on its head, not only to imprison Ruben, but to justify the entire ethnic cleansing of a people. It is up to all of us to stand in solidarity with them, with all of the heroic Azeri human rights defenders, and to hold Aliyev accountable, both directly and through all of the means at our disposal in a democratic society. Thank you very much.